Hey everyone, it's Alison Heikkila. Happy April 1st. It is time to share part of the release from A Colorful Life Designs. I am really excited about this month. There are some really fantastic geometrics, and if you're like me and you love geometrics, then you're going to love this release. So I do have my parcel already open because there were a couple of months worth of releases in here, so I'm only going to show you April. So I did have it open already. Oh my gosh, you guys, I love these. Wait till you see them. Okay, and I don't have the full release, as always. I choose the amount that I think I have enough time to work with. Honestly, I wanted the entire release because it's so great, but I had to narrow it down for myself so that I made sure I had enough time to make everything. So, the first one is called I Love Squares. Now, I'll be honest, squares are not my favorite shape. I'm more of a circle gal. I love trillions, which is a triangle with a rounded edge. Squares are not my favorite, but I love the rough edges on these. None of them are perfect squares. They're all a little messy. Not a ton, but look at this one. It's like a blurb. They're just a little rough around the edges, and I love that. I'm going to probably say it a few times, but this would be so great on a gel plate. It's just going to make some beautiful mixed media pieces. This is going to be great in an art journal or a planner. Obviously, you could do it on cards. I could see this being used for scrapbooking. It's just a really cool stencil. I love it. And it's called I Love Squares. Okay, the next one we have is called Winding Paths. This is really cool, and I imagine this being done in one different color for each row. Maybe you have a gradation going from one end to the other in like an ombre, but it's going to be pretty easy to make each row a different color. You're not really going to have to mask off a whole lot because they're pretty spaced out except in, a section here and there. Pretty simple to work with, just some washi tape, whatever, paper, but I think that this is really cool. I wonder how it would look if you ink it all in one color and then maybe flip it over or turn it this way, and just kind of layer itself in different directions. I think that could be pretty cool too. Maybe this way and then this way. Make some kind of broken plaid. That could be fun. I don't know. That's going to be a lot of fun to experiment with, and it's called Winding Paths. This one is called Broken Lines, and I think it's really great because there's a lot of open space, but it's not overwhelming. So if you have a background or like pattern paper or maybe a mono print that you like, but it needs something extra, but you don't want to cover the whole background, this is a great stencil for that because although there's a lot of open space, as you can see by the amount of blue you can see, there's still plenty of closed spaces too. So it could be that extra layer that you need for something. So that's called Broken Lines. Next up, this is wicked. Look at this. Big Stripy Zigzag. How cool is this? Oh, look at all those itty bitty teeny tiny lines. I definitely want to break out each of these zigzags in a different color. It'll be fairly easy to mask because this line here is so nice and wide. You just throw some washi tape there, maybe some scrap paper, post-it tape, whatever, and you can have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 colors. Maybe you repeat this color here. It's cool. And although there's a lot of straight lines, I don't know, depending on your technique, you might not need to use pixie spray or anything, depending on how you apply your ink or your paste or whatever. You might want to, but I don't know if it's super necessary. Maybe in these areas here, where they're bent all the way across, the widest point. But, again, play around, see what you want to do. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to work with, though. And then, I have an idea. Say you don't want this whole thing, right, on a card or something. You can just ink up one and cut it out because they're just straight lines. You could just cut it out and have it across your card. That would be really cool. I like that. All right, moving on. Next, look at this. This is so rad. This is called So Many Bubbles. Can you see that? I love that Mary Kay always makes sure that the number for the stencil and the name of the stencil is always on the stencil, no matter how fine it is. Look at this. Isn't that fabulous? It's very like neo-graphic art looking. I definitely want to color each of these sections in a different color. I definitely want to use them for my mono printing. I think it's really awesome. This would be great on a scrapbook page because it's so big. This is one of the 6x9s. Yep. And it's just really a cool piece. You don't have to use the whole thing either. You can just use sections if you want to. But I love that it's a mask, so it doesn't have a border around it. It keeps it nice and open and very organic looking. So that's called So Many Bubbles. I'm going to use this one a whole lot. Next up, this one reminds me of the wallpaper I have in my dining room. This is called A Lot of Angles. I love this. My dining room has wallpaper that I put up with my mom, and it's kind of a blush pink, like a sandy pink, I should say. It's a sandy pink, and then all of the lines that you see here, this is not an exact replica, obviously, are a metallic, like, brushed gold. It's really cool. And this, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, it looks like my wallpaper. This is awesome. So I might need to figure out a way to kind of make it replicate my wallpaper. That would also be a very cool scrapbook page. If I printed out the pictures of my mom and I hanging with wallpaper and then made this my background, or at least part of it, that'd be pretty rad. But this is so fun. I love this. Very cool. Again, it's called So Many Angles. The last one that I do have the mid-month inspiration stencil, but you can't see that until the 15th. And there are other stencils in this month's release. Make sure you go to my blog post to see photos of the master bundles, which include all of the stencils. And of course, you can go to A Colorful Life Designs and check them all out there. Make sure that you use my code ALFAN10 to save yourself 10% on your entire purchase, unless you're getting the master bundle. That you won't save the 10% on because they're already discounted. This one is called Scalloped Harlequin. I think this is so great. I'm a big fan of any type of Harlequin print. Don't think that because the open areas are here that you can't shift it after you've inked it once to fill in the others. So you can, of course, just do like one color, but you can also do multiples if you want to ink and then pick it up and then shift it over so that the negative spaces are now in the positive and the positives are now in the negative. I'll wind up doing a sample so that you'll be able to see, but this is going to be a lot of fun. I love that it's scalloped. That's a new take on a Harlequin I haven't seen before. So that is the release that I have for April of 2025 from A Colorful Life Designs. I honestly don't know which one I'm going to start with first because they are so fabulous. I'm really excited about them all. I hope that you are too. And I'll have some projects here on YouTube, but make sure that you go and visit my blog because I will have everything that I made over there throughout the month. And that's it for me. Thank you so much for hanging out. I will be back very soon with another video. Be well, stay safe. Peace out.